Welcome back to Car Chat TV. My name's Oliver, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about this, the Cupra Born. Now, I have been waiting a long time to get my hands on the Cupra Born, an all-electric vehicle hatchback. Now, it's got Cupra on it, so I expect it to be sporty, performance-based. And in today's video, I'm going to take it out on the road. I'm going to show you all the cool features and give you an honest opinion about how it drives. And also, there are a number of trim levels to go for, V1, V2, V3. I'm going to tell you, in my honest opinion, which is the best trim level to go for. So let's get on with it. Charging. This is the 77 kilowatt hour version, Cupra e-Boost Born. Max charge 170 kilowatts. If you charge it up at home on a 7 kilowatt wall box, you're looking at 11 hours. It has got an onboard 11 kilowatt charger. That'll bring it down to around 7 hours. If you find a fast charger, you can go 5 to 80% in 36 minutes. Firstly, I want to talk to you about the trim levels, what you get in each trim level, and what I think is the best trim level to go for. Then after that, I'm going to talk about this version because this is the V3, the top trim level for the Cupra Born, because it's got some pretty cool features. Here are the different trim levels, starting with V1, moving on to V2, and then V3. So as you can see, there isn't that much difference from the trim levels. I think the V1 is the best because it's £10,000 cheaper. This one's spec'd at 46k and the entry V1 starts at 36k. And the only things you really get is heads-up display. I'm not a massive fan. Electric seats, do you need them? Heated steering wheel, yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, V1, you're going to save yourself a lot of money. You still got the 12-inch infotainment, you still get a rear camera. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Inside the Cupra Born, and we've driven the VW ID3 as well, so it's on the same platform, the MEB platform, as well as the the Q4, the Skoda Enyaq, and the visibility is great. You've got these pillars that break up other glass windows there that just allow light to pour in. There's a few little bits which are a bit annoying. You can't really see your drive selecting mode because the steering wheel blocks it. And with the e-Boost versions, you get the Cupra button down here, which we'll talk a little bit more about later on because you've got some drive modes as well. So then you've got the 58 kilowatt hour version, the 77 kilowatt hour version. This one's 310 Newton meters of torque, a 0 to 62 miles per hour in 7 seconds. So we'll give it a little bit of a launch later on because I think that'd be good fun, isn't it? Electric vehicles, you always want to give it a little bit of a jab and feel that power. Inside, this is the V3, remember, the top trim level. It's got dynamic suede everywhere, and it's actually an extra to have this blue, Aurora blue. I think £195 extra on top to get this blue colour. Centre console is great. You can actually go, oh, I don't want to see all this clutter and cup holders, bit of a cavity there. I just want to bring this down, shut it away, keeps it minimal and keeps it cool, and I quite like that. It's got some detailing, kind of looks really sporty, I guess, kind of hexagons, things you would see on like Lamborghinis on the dash over there. Nice soft touch material in and amongst the cabin. As always, the Cupra copper accents you find. I'm not a big fan of the 5.3 digital dash, which is column mounted, so when you move the wheel, obviously it moves with it. I like a bigger dash. I like the infotainments that merge together that you've seen other manufacturers do, like BMW, Kia do it as well. But this is the same you get on the VW as well, the ID3. The infotainment's been okay. I know some people that have these VW products and they say it's a little bit laggy, software problems. Let me know in the comments, if you're an owner, have you had any of these problems? Today, I haven't had those kind of problems yet. Obviously, I don't know if it's because it's been updated and whatnot, but so far, so good. It's pretty practical too. 385 litres of boot space with the Cupra Born. Come in, have a look. We've got some tether points as well. The cables are in this fancy bag. Oh, I thought it had a Cupra logo on this one. It doesn't. It does on that one. You've got these tether points. It's pretty handy. Ski hatch here down the middle if you are going to go skiing. But 385 litres, is that big enough for you? I'm driving along an A road at the moment. I've got the comfort profile setting on, which is the softest suspension option I have. I've got Adam with me in the rear seats. Adam, talk to me about comfort levels.
Okay, so we're in the back of the Cupra, and I do actually like this car. I think it's got quite a lot of room, and I feel like the car's actually it's quite a lot bigger than like what you think it's going to be. It's quite long. That's why sort of head height is really good, and the general cabin, like you've got plenty of knee room. Let me show you down here. You've got a couple of USBs down there. A couple of things. I think the seating position's like fine, like no complaints there. A couple of things that I don't like. Some of the materials I'm not too sure about. Like this here, horrible material. The seats sort of block your vision quite a lot in the back, and I don't really get this sort of like, I don't really like a ditch in the middle of the seat there. I'm not really sure what that's about. And you sort of got like two different materials with the seats. So you've got this bit in the middle here, which is quite soft, and then you've got this suede, which is like really nice. So I feel like it would have been better just to keep it one material. The ski hatch here is quite nice. You've got two cup holders. Let me show you. Two cup holders here, and the ski hatch. So if you want to get anything from the back, it's quite nice to do that as an option. But other than that, suspension wise, I would say quite firm. It's not going to be the most comfortable ride for the rear passengers, but what can you expect? It's quite a sporty car, and it does feel that way. So yeah, I'm not too annoyed with that.
I found a B road. I'm going to put it in the Cupra mode, which is everything is maximum sport wise, stiffer steering wheel. You've got more responsive. It's pretty narrow, this road as well. And there's a car. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what though, when you put your foot down, it goes. It's quite progressive. I'm saying it's not the quickest, but it does feel so flat through the corners. Very well balanced and responsive with the steering wheel. The tiniest little inputs, and the wheel just moves. Now you do have a performance setting as well, but the Cupra, the e-boost variants, they have the Cupra button here, which is basically that extra button that's making it a little bit more powerful, a little bit more sporty. It is a bit of a gimmick, the Cupra button, but I like it really. If you're going to make a little bit of effort, I see gimmicks, new gadgets, you just put it on there. It makes it a little bit more fun. I'm definitely the target market for gimmicks, for boosts, like you see on other cars, the N-Green shift on Hyundais, the Genesis G370 we tried the other day, literally just had the button and it just said boost. And I'm like, I'm going to press it. And that's the same in the Cupra Born e-boost. It's like 30 seconds of more power, and it's not the fastest car in the world, but it is a lot of fun. And being rear-wheel drive on this platform, it just puts a smile on your face. 0 to 62 miles per hour, 7 seconds. Let's give it a launch. I'm in Cupra mode. Let's go. Okay, let's throw my head back a bit. Okay, it's pretty quick. And there it is. We've hit it. Oh my gosh, 7 seconds. Are you sure? That felt a little bit quicker than that. But you have got that boost of power. As soon as you put your foot down, it goes, and then it staggers off. It plateaus a bit. I think that's more than enough power than what we need on the UK roads anyway. They're doing well, Cupra, so well that they're going to get rid of the Seat brand, and this is going to just be, all the cars are going to be under Cupra basically. So you're going to get a cool car, a good looking car. That's another great point. The Cupras look great. Oh, the car feels great. Now I've got my foot down. Now we're going. Oh my goodness. Brakes, onto the brakes, very progressive, not too snatchy, not too grabby. And we were packing a little bit of pace then. The car is really responsive, and oh, there's a runner on the road and he's running the right way. That's okay. You live today, mate. But that just shows actually just how capable the car is. I'm on a very narrow B road. The car is handling well. The suspension is firm, but it is just flat through those corners, keeping it, all together. And the car just feels so complete. And it's definitely more fun than the VW ID3 that we reviewed. And I definitely think this is a better car to get than the ID3. You'll have to let me know. What would you have? I want to talk to you about the looks of this Cupra Born, because I just think they make more effort than I think with the other manufacturers out there. First of all, I've never seen a bad set of wheels on a Cupra, ever. These are 20-inch Hurricane Aero wheels. Like we said earlier, this is the V3 trim. Go down to the V2, you get 19 inches. Down to the V1, which I think you should go for 18s. Look at this. Look at all the bits, all the giblets and bits popping out. I love it. They've got creases. We haven't got a frunk in this, and I can live with that. It is quite nice to have a bit of a frunk space. We see it again with other manufacturers, but I just love all this, like the badge. You've got this big V coming down here on your front bumper, black gloss. There's just effort here. It's sharp, it's angular. And then you look at the VW ID3, which is pretty much the same car, but it's bland and it's basic. Nobody wants to be bland and basic. And this is something that the Cupra doesn't do. They do angular and aggressive. Look at this side skirt here, allowing the air to flow up and around. I don't know if it does much, but it looks good. And then you've got detailing around the side here. On the ID3, you get some detailing as well. So it's kind of reminiscent of that. Little spoiler here with some creases flowing down. Purposeful windscreen wiper, which is good because some of them don't have them now. It's got a sport diffuser. It's not going to do much, is it? But it looks good. And you can get that on the lowest trim. You go for the V1, you still get all the sporty looks. In the old days, you had to pay for the sporty bumpers. But with Cupra, it's a sports brand. You get it all with it. I absolutely love the look of this car. And also, what Cupra do? The name of the model goes in the light. When we had the Formentor, you got a little Formentor badge in there with the Born. You got the Born badge. These little design cues, for me, just go above and beyond. And I love that. I love that they make these design efforts. Is it the best looking electric vehicle hatch on the market at the moment? I think it's a tough one to beat. Let me know a better looking car in the comments below. Let's talk about the drive modes. So I've got them up. I've got two buttons, one on my wheel where I can click drive and it flicks through them. But actually visually, I think it'll be better to show you on camera here from my 12-inch infotainment. So I've got range, which is going to maximize my range. So it's going to dull the car down so you can get the most miles. Comfort setting. Now I've noticed when I'm driving on the comfort, the steering is nice and light. It's a noticeable difference from going on Cupra mode to the comfort, and I've actually enjoyed putting it on comfort on these A roads because the steering works well and it's nice and light. Then you've got performance, which is everything stiffened up a little bit, and then you've got on top of that Cupra mode, which is even more performance based than performance, but I think that's if you haven't got the e-boost models. And actually, I said a bit earlier, when I pressed the Cupra button, I thought it was a bit of a boost mode, that it was going to boost the car, but it doesn't actually boost the car. It just kind of puts the car in that kind of Cupra mode setting. But I read somewhere that it gives you 30 seconds of boost or power, so I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know in the chat. And anyway, we're going to go over to individual, and then I'm going to show you all the different configurations. So you can have your steering, you've got comfort and performance, so one stiffer than the other. Engine, comfort, performance, range, and Cupra. And then you've got your adaptive cruise control, performance, Cupra there. And then you've got your air conditioning, comfort and range. Obviously that will be, oh gosh, it's got this thing. Please pay attention to the road. Yeah, enable sound. Go away now. Let's go back. All right, it's not letting me play around with the, oh, there we go, it's back. So there you go. You can go to individual, click configuration, and you can see all the different stuff you can set. I think that's quite interesting because I always like to see what you can actually change with driver mode profiles in cars. The good thing is once you know you can see it on the infotainment, you can actually just do it from the buttons on your steering wheel. But I think the only ones you're going to be using, maybe range mode, if you are struggling for miles with your car and you're doing a long journey and you're like, I really want to save that because I don't really want to charge it. I want to talk to you about competition because we've reviewed the MG4 and that is the cheapest electric vehicle you can buy in the UK, and the one we had was the long range around 27k. Obviously that's 9 or 10 grand cheaper than this, which starts at 36k, but you notice the difference when you walk in from that car to this. So forgetting the MG4, let's look at, you know, the VW ID3, the Skoda Enyaq, what else around the 36k would you have over this? I think this looks better. We could talk all day, couldn't we, about competition? Well, let's just stop. Put it in the comments, what would you have over the Cupra Born? I'm going to give you mine. After the MG4, I'm going for this. Just a quick one, I thought I'd mention, it's got D and B on the gear selector as well, like we've seen in other cars that have the MEB platform, the VW ID3 and the Audi Q4. B is for harvesting, so when you put it on B and you lift off the accelerator, it will harvest more into the battery. It doesn't come to a complete stop. And then D, when you're on the motorways, that's what you want it in. You want it in D because when you lift off the accelerator, you want the car to move a little bit more freely rather than jolt you back. One thing, I guess, that I've noticed, because you've only got D and B, is there isn't any regenerative paddles, where other manufacturers do offer that, and sometimes you feel like you can harvest a little bit more because you're in control of how much you're harvesting with different settings. But yeah, this has got D and B, and when you're in the B mode, that is when you lift off and you harvest more back into the battery. Okay, so that has been our episode on the Cupra Born. This one's the V3 e-Boost, 77 kilowatt hour battery. I think we've pretty much covered it all. It's fun to drive. It's going to put a smile on your face. And for the price point, 36k, is there a better looking car for this? The answer is no. Thank you, Oliver. I'd love to know what you think about the car, the Cupra Born, in the comments below. As always, if you like the video, throw us a like. Comment down below what you'd have over it. And as always, get subbed, and I'll see you on the next one. If you've made it this far, thank you ever so much for watching. I've just popped up 2 more videos on your screen that you also may like. If you do watch one, let me know what you think.